Welcome to Simply Caroline, a podcast dedicated to women empowerment where we will discuss a bunch of different subjects such as life, parenting, love, business, money, relationships, healing, recovery, addiction, entrepreneurship, and so much more. A podcast I'll do my best to keep simple, fun, and relatable and bring you tools to help you better your life. So thank you for being here. And here's your host, myself, Caroline Blanchard. Hello, everyone, and thank you for being with us again. This week, I have a special guest and a special subject that I absolutely love, animals, most precisely dogs. So today we have Jeanette Eng with us from Social Paws. How are you, Jeanette?
I'm wonderful, Caroline. Happy to be here.
Yes, thank you for being here. So I've never talked about that subject officially on the podcast, and as I was telling you in pre-interview, and I don't understand why, because I absolutely love dogs. I used to be a cat person, and when I got my first dog 15 years ago, 15 years and a half, he changed my mind. So now my house is flooded with dogs. But Jeanette, let's talk about your app first, and then I'm going to ask you, like, how did you come to develop that? Because it's a pretty unique product. So what is
Absolutely.
your app about and what is it doing?
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you for being a dog lover. I think that is a special connection that a lot of us can share, whether we own dogs or just love dogs. Dogs are something that bring people together and increase our mental health and create community and bring joy. So thank you for doing your part to give dogs a happy home. So you can understand the need for uh just giving more people exposure to dogs, and that's what Social Paws is about. Helping dogs and humans spend more time together. There's a lot of humans that are not with dogs, and a lot of dogs that are not with humans. When I just think about dogs spending time home alone, or people that are home alone, I want to connect those dogs and those humans, because a lot of times they would much rather be, a dog would much rather be with someone than alone, and a human would be much rather be with a dog than alone. So the idea is to allow people to share dogs. This way, dog owners and dog lovers who don't own dogs can connect, match with one another, and share dogs. So Social Paws is a matching platform that brings these two communities together to allow for just the happy dog time to be shared amongst more people. Yeah.
So basically, and you did show me the app, which is absolutely gorgeous. It's super cool. And it looks like a matching service, like a dating service. I'm not going to give names on that, but like swipe right or swipe left, and who do you like and who you don't like. Um, how, how did you come with the idea of like, I get that you wanted to connect people, but how did you come up with the idea of like, this person is gonna like this one and this, tell me a little bit how you developed all of that, because I get the idea of connecting. And yes, there shouldn't be anyone alone or any dogs alone, but it's something else to connect because the dog doesn't have it say. And like if you were matching two people. And on the other end, I'm thinking as a dog owner, it would almost be like letting one of my kids go out with a stranger. So how do you manage all of that?
Yeah. So the inspiration for the app, the original story was when I spent time as a dog owner, when I fostered a dog for a year during COVID, and I just naturally began having her spend time with a nearby family because two boys wanted to have a dog and their mom didn't. A very common story, right? The parents are like, no, I don't need another kid, because they know they're going to end up with the responsibility. And the kids always want a dog. The kids want a puppy even. So it's like hard sometimes to find that unanimous yes or agreement amongst a family to adopt a dog, which is a huge responsibility. So I have respect for those who say, I'm not ready. my time is not as available or my space is not as big, because they really respect the responsibility and the life that they want to give a dog. So when I started doing that with my dog, letting them spend time with her, we all found that we were happier. I was like less stressed because I knew my dog was getting extra attention and activity. My dog was like hardly ever alone, and they had the dog that they wanted, and their mom didn't have to get them a dog. So like everybody was happy. So that was like the original inspiration. Now, how do we create a piece of technology to let more people have that experience? Because the idea is it works so well for us. I was like, I want to help more people do this. And as I spoke to people, people were like, oh my God, I would love like for my dog to spend time with more people. My dog is so loving. My dog is so friendly. Like, take her now. So a lot of dog owners, I understand that, like you said, they are your children, but they can also like have some aunts and have some uncles, right?
Well
And
said.
you can expand the family. I found that these boys and their mom, they were like an extended family. They were loving her. When I saw them together, I was like, wow, they really love her. And she really loves them. She's like crying when they leave and happy when they come. So there was like a real relationship and a bond. And it's like, yes, you have to be careful and, grow the relationship slowly, teach them how to take care of my dog, do that well, and then you can hand her off with confidence. And there's always going to be a learning curve, right? They had some, she had a couple accidents at their house. There was some time where they got used to each other, but it all ended up being great. And I think like once we were seeing that other people were open to this idea, then it's like, let's create the technology. And we did model it after dating apps. So you're correct. It was completely modeled after Hinge and Tinder, and like the way that dating apps try to match people, because it's two customer bases. It's dog owners and dog lovers, just like it's men and women trying to connect with one another to date. For us, it's like connecting with one another to dog share. It's just another networking app. And so we are modeling it after the dating app, and we're not sure if that's the right way yet. So right now we do have 200 users on the platform, and we're seeing that people are creating lovely profiles. So they trust the idea, they're excited about the idea, they jump on, they create a great profile. And now we've just got to figure out how to like move them through to actually dog share. We've had about 2 people dog share, and it hasn't like really blown off. Like it hasn't like blown up the way like it hasn't had that hockey stick growth yet. And so we want to get around, figure out the tipping point. So we're tweaking the app and figuring out how much it needs to be like a dating app. Maybe it could be a different version of a dating app that's more like a dog dating app, maybe a little less. Maybe it doesn't need to have a mutual match. Maybe there can be more open communication. We're figuring it out. So we are in the beta stage, and we're testing out our concept with New Yorkers who are dog owners and dog lovers who don't own dogs.
I love it. I love the idea. And then once your app is really developed like that, you can add the feature of maybe the adults would match with each other, because wouldn't want to find a dog lover when you already have a dog? But that I'm just joking. It's
We believe that this will definitely moonlight as a dating app, and it kind of already is. We can see it happening.
Yes, but no, I love the idea because I walk in a huge forest every day, like it's, I don't know, kilometers, miles for you. But and the other day I saw a lady that I cross quite often, and her dog passed. And it's to the point that I don't know her name, but I know the dog's name. I know all of the dog's name, and they all know my dog's name, but we don't know each other's names. So it's really like it's a dog's world. And I joked with her. I said, well, you know what? If you really miss him, I have 3 dogs. So I'm like,
Oh,
if you really miss him, you can borrow one of mine, kind of as a joke. But she kind of took me seriously too. And then I was thinking in my mind, oh, well, because all my dogs have special needs. So I was like, well, I'm not sure which one I would land and everything. But, the idea was there. It was there that she's alone and I have 3. Mine would probably love to have 4 walks a day, but they get what they get with us. So they get 1 to 2 walks plus the backyard. But it's true that it just makes sense to give them more attention and give them more love, and they can get it. I love how you said, they can get aunts and uncles and cousins because it's absolutely true,
Yes.
which they don't get usually. They have their family and that's it, like the close family. So I like the idea. You said that right now you're catering in New York.
I'm based in New York, so I'm naturally spreading the idea to the dog parks, to the pet stores, and to the people that I run into physically in my area. And we are hosting get-togethers, dog potties, and yappy hours, and doggy speed dating in the dog cafes. So that's by way of simply geography that it's happening in New York first. And once we can figure out New York, then we can take that formula and spread it everywhere.
Yeah, because I'm in Montreal, so you need to spread it. Um,
Absolutely. No, we're coming.
No, and I love how New York, like I feel like you guys are way ahead of us with the cafes and all of this. Like we're just starting this component. We have a dog hotel, but my dogs don't go. But all those little things. Some people I know that will listen to that and be like, oh my gosh, it's so ridiculous. I wouldn't put that much money in or whatever. But you have to understand that. And I was a bit like that before, but when you start owning your dog and you see how loyal and the unconditional love that they have is, I often say, like, wow, if humans were like that, we would have a perfect world. Because I know that I go get the mail, which is like across the street, and I come back and my dogs are so happy to see me. It's like I was gone 3 months, and I'm like, guys, I just left. It's pure unconditional love, which is nice. And I can see to your app going into, you know, um, elderly homes and things like that for dogs to be able to go spend time with those people. And you know what? Dog therapy is a real thing. It's just that, like me as a dog owner, how do I do that? You know? So there's
Mhm.
so many places your app can go. I find that great. And so give us a little bit your background though, because to create an app like that is quite something.
Thanks. I actually come from, similar to you, a very outside of the box background where I do multiple things, and entrepreneurial endeavors has always been one thread in my life. Another thread has been working in fitness, and another thread has been working in acting. So in New York, I've, for the past maybe 15 years, always done a combination of on-camera work and teaching fitness classes. And then an entrepreneurial endeavor is always brewing on the side as well. So that's really my career in a nutshell. Right now, what it looks like is I teach classes at Lifetime Fitness, which is a national gym chain. And I also teach, and when I teach, it started in cycling and then strength classes, and now I'm teaching yoga classes as well. So it's like I'm adding on and evolving as a fitness coach also. And I also teach for an online platform called Balanced, and it's a startup as well. So you'll appreciate this. And what they're doing is video fitness for the older generation, so the aging population, to really live life gracefully and to bring forth the idea that aging is inevitable, but decline is a choice, and aging and decline don't go hand in hand. You can absolutely age and not decline. It's just about your activity level to really change that.
I
So I
love
teach
that. Yeah.
classes with them. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. I play soccer and there's one lady, she must be 64 or 65. And we play against 20 years old. So and she keeps up. And I'm always like so blown away when I see her. And you would see her and think she's 40, but you're right that aging is inevitable, but how you do it, decline, like you said, is a choice. So that's a very good branch to be in as well. So back to the app, how do you see, like, what do you see the next step being? Are you guys looking to, spread with bigger companies, or are you looking for investors? What's the next step to getting bigger and really making it available everywhere?
The next step from a high level is to get our app to a converting version, meaning the version of our app that is going to convert users from profile creation to dog sharing. And that's going to require some iterating, some experimenting, some tweaking. So we're playing with the app with people in real life, talking to our customers, and also observing their behavior and thinking what could we change to get more conversions happening. And that's really the overarching goal, because once we're there, then investment will come more easily, revenue will come more easily. So whether we get the money from an investor because they can see that we're converting people and that we're working, or we generate the revenue on our own because we can easily charge a subscription at this point, because people, once they're sharing dogs, they have the value that warrants a monthly subscription, then we're really good to go. So that's where we are. We're in that sort of like cooking in the kitchen and figuring out, do we need more salt? Do we need less salt? What do we need to take in, put in, take out, so that we can get people to accomplish the goal? They came here to share dogs, and they're on this platform ready to share dogs, whether they're a dog owner or a dog lover who doesn't own a dog. And we call it Team Social and Team Paws, because it's Social Paws, and we have the Team Social are the ones who want to spend time with dogs, the uncles and the aunts, and then the Team Paws are the dog owners who are happy to share their dog with others.
Yeah.
So it's figuring out how to get Team Social and Team Paws to actually do what they came to do. And that's on us to create that technology and that environment. We all know when we download an app, like when we come back to it, like the ones we come back to on a regular basis and the ones we don't. And it's all about the app environment and how it's designed to be sticky, to be sort of addictive, to be really like, just integrate into our lives very seamlessly. So we've got to figure out the combination of like notifications and the app environment and the comfort level that we can create in these relationships versus them feeling like disconnected, help them just to feel really like well connected through the technology. So that's really
That's
where
not a small feat, but
it's not. Yeah, we're ready for it.
yeah, and I'm impressed by you, because you are sharing and promoting it, even if you're in your beta stage, basically. And usually people will wait that everything is perfect to start really promoting something. And it really shows courage and, determination, because you're like, no, I know exactly, you have the vision, you know exactly where it's going. So you're ready to share now, because you do need the input of people as well. And when you said addictive, right away, I thought about like ad videos, because everyone watches videos of puppies or dogs or I was on Instagram yesterday looking at videos, and there's just these cute sayings that last about 20 seconds. It's a kid talking over and then a dog that you see, but I was looking at it thinking, I'm just looking at dogs laying there doing nothing. What am
It's
I
dogs you
doing?
don't even know.
I know, exactly. But just because they're cute, you watch them. So yeah, that can be addictive as well. Um, and that totally threw me off what I was going to say. But so now you need people from New York to really get on your app and help you have a bigger audience, if I can say, right?
Yes and no. I mean, we have 200 people already. We have 100 dogs and close to 100 Team Social members. So we have plenty of people. What we're really looking to do is get the developers on our side to start making the changes. So we just onboarded 2 in-house developers, and this will allow us to make these changes. So it's like sort of like before we had outside cooks in the kitchen, and we asked the cooks to like make some changes in the recipe, and they were like, okay, you've got to pay us some more money. But we ran out of money. So now we got some cooks who are willing to just join our team, and they believe in the cause. So they're willing to take 1% of the company in lieu of payment, like for now, and they're working on an equity share agreement. So that's really like what is more important to us than the users, because we need to be able to change our recipe to meet the users that we already have, and then we're happy to spend energy getting more users.
Yeah, I can't wait to use that app. And I was, sometimes I travel, well, probably 2 to 3 times a year to conferences, and I go alone, and I like being alone for 5 days. It's just a good, change. But on the other end, I see dogs in other cities, and I'm like, oh, or I go for walks, and I'm like, wow, it's boring walking alone because I don't do
It
that
is.
here ever. And I'm thinking sometimes like it would be cool to have a shelter that I can just go borrow a dog and have a dog for my walk, and it would make the dog happy, and it would make me happy. So yeah, your app is like dead on. It's needed. I'm sure it's gonna be.
Imagine if when you're away, you have your dog staying with your neighborhood family. So when I went away, I would have those families, those two boys, take care of my dog for a whole week. And for them, it was a treat. They were like, oh, wow, we get Luna for a week now instead of just after school for a few hours. So for them, they're really like spending a very intentional amount of time playing with her and attending to her for that 1 week because it's special.
Yeah.
Is putting her in a doggy daycare or something like that. She's their only dog that they're taking care of for that week. So it was really good for me. And I would get all these videos and pictures of her. And to your point, also, we noticed that Pamela Anderson, she's from Canada.
Hmm.
She came to New York to do a show on Broadway. I think it was, I can't remember, but the point is she was here for a month doing a Broadway show, and she borrowed a stranger's dog to walk every day. And there was articles all over about it, like Pamela Anderson walking a stranger's dog, or just volunteering to walk a dog every day because she misses her dogs at home, because she's away for a whole month and she wants to take walks in Central Park. So she had her assistant find her a dog and arrange for her to walk this dog every day so that she could have that doggy like walk and community and all the benefits that you said you enjoy walking with a dog and having that time with the community and the other dogs in the dog park. And
It's
it's
different. It's different. Honestly, like, and I never thought I would say that one day, but no, now it's like I'm like, wow, boring when I walk alone, and for me, walking with a dog doesn't stop me from being in my thoughts, because I know I have some friends who told me like, well, no, I like walking it alone because then I can be in my thoughts and I don't have to, look at what something else is doing. And but you get used to it, and they're so cute. And I think that your company that you're building is not only a company, it's a mission, and
Mhm.
that's why I love it. And I will support you once it's out in Montreal for sure. We'll probably have to discuss that with the family, get it to the family console if we share with our dogs or not. But I think it's an amazing idea. So, what would you leave people with? Like this one thing that you really want, or even if it's only about, creating awareness towards dogs. I'll let you close how you want to close.
Sure. I think the most important thing is to just check us out and check out our website. Then you can see really what our mission is and what our community looks like. Everything is there, all the pictures of our community. We've been doing dog events, and we have a Yappy Hour coming up on January 5th. So we're bringing the community together in real life. You can see that this is a real life community, and you can see what we're trying to create with our app as far as our mission, and then just join the community even if we don't have. So even you, Caroline, can download the app in Montreal. You can tell that family in your neighborhood to download the app as well. You can create profiles. And for now, you might be the only 2 people in your area, but you can easily just share the app with whoever, because it's available for download in the Apple Store, in the Google Play Store. So that means that anyone can download it from anywhere. Our concentration is in New York because that's where I am, and that's where the bulk of the energy is going into marketing. And eventually that will spread. So once you're just part of the community, part of the newsletter, part of the Instagram, you'll be aware of where we are going as a startup, and there's always new things happening. So any day now, we could get investment dollars, we could get accepted into an accelerator, we could be on Shark Tank like you were suggesting we should be, and things could really happen where we could be in your area like right away or pretty soon or in the near future, the foreseeable future. So I think the most important thing is just join our community, even if it's virtually for now, so that you can keep up with us and maybe even help us with some connections. People in our community have directed us towards connections and been able to really encourage us or logistically help us to connect with ways that have actually helped us. So yeah, just support us. We are a startup. We are just me as a solo founder with a few part-time team members. We've been working on it for almost 2 years, a year and a half at this point. I personally got the idea 2 years ago, and we've been making some really great strides, and we are available in the App Store. So we're a startup. We're about, we're a technology application. We are a dog, startup. We are about community and mental wellness and helping humans and dogs spend more time together. So the cause is very good and it's heart driven. So just become a part of our community. And that's really all I could ask right now.
And it's women in technology.
It is, yes.
That is quite amazing as well. I love supporting, any new startup, but especially when it's a woman. Well, I wish you really like the best of luck, and I want you to come back like at the end of 2023 to tell us like where you're at and how is it going with Social Paws. I encourage everyone to download the app, support Jeanette. But it's not only to support her startup. I think it's going to be an amazing application that will really help support a lot of different, causes and as much as people alone, then dog alone, mental health, like you said, there's like therapy dog, there's so many things that will come out of that. Like being with a dog is amazing. And if you don't like dogs, well, oh well.
12% of the people who don't own dogs because they don't like dogs, but the other 88% don't own dogs only for circumstantial reasons. So yeah, the majority of us do love dogs, and some people don't, and that's totally fine.
Yeah, because let's face it, also, like you need to have the space, you need to have the time, you need to have the right schedule, and you need to have the financial. Like dogs are not cheap. And I know that I never had dogs growing up because one, my mom was scared of it, but I'm sure we could have found one that she would have fallen in love with, but it's just we didn't have the money. So that's like it's perfect for the ones who don't have the money. Well, then just go and appreciate someone else's dog that so
yeah, the other idea is that we want to we believe, one of the things that I believe is that people who don't own dogs can be just as responsible and loving and fit to care for a dog. Because like you said, it's only because they're taking the responsibility very seriously, and they're maybe not ready or set up to go the full length of dog ownership. But I've found them to be really great at caretaking. So it's not to say that just because someone doesn't own a dog doesn't mean they can't be really great to be a dog aunt or a dog uncle. And
exactly.
So yeah, we just want to sort of like blow open those barriers and let everyone just have access to spend time with the dog, because it'll help them, it'll help the dog. And you saw it as like you already have the thought of it could help elderly. It could also help a lot of singles who spend time alone and want to like just be more social. It helps people socialize more. It can help college students who miss their dogs, and like college students tell me that they have these puppy socials, and there's like a few puppies, and there's like 200 college students trying to pet those puppies. So it's like college students are like dog deprived, and people who, like I experienced, they either their apartment doesn't allow for dogs, or they can't get the whole family on board with that responsibility. And even people who have special needs, you were saying your dogs have special needs, some people have special needs, and it's actually really good for them to spend more time with others and socialize more. I don't know, there's endless opportunities. And so even runners, a lot of runners that want to not run alone, whether it's for safety reasons or just more to have a more enjoyable time, they would rather run with a dog. Dogs can help people be more physically active, whether it's hiking, walking, running. They're more likely to do those activities if they have a dog as company.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, I agree 1,000% with everything you said, and I know it's going to be a success. Like, I'm not even worried for you, and I'm happy that you're putting all this work in, and that someone really decided to develop something like that. And congratulations. And that was officially the longest close ever on the show. But that's
Sorry.
no, that's it's so cute. I'm saying that because I'm like, well, so for the close, but I should have just said like, just give us your take on it. So I had to say, how funny I found that it was. But it was a pleasure having you on, Jeanette. And like
Thank
honestly, I
you.
want you back before the end of 20 at the end of 2023 and really see, touch base where you're at. And I'm sure you will have made leaps and bounds of progress. And it was a pleasure having you. So everyone, download Social Paws, whether it's in your city or not. Just download it, join the community, and then once it's available everywhere, we'll all jump on and share our dogs. So
Thank
thank
you.
you, Jeanette, and I'll see you at the end of 2023.
Yes, you'll see me and I'll see you on the platform soon.
Yes.
Bye,
Bye.
Caroline. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure meeting.
Likewise.